is a constitutional amendment, which means that if it wants to take effect, it has to go toward the voters. If the Missouri Bar is so confident in the Missouri Plan and its popularity amongst the public, then why don't they just let this pass, let this go to the voters, and then present their arguments why it shouldn't pass?
I would say that the HJR10 is simply a bad idea, and I see no reason why the voters should waste their time debating this for a general election when we have an opportunity to educate the members of the General Assembly about the defects and the deficiencies in this plan so that they don't pass it. I don't see any reason to delay our input into this process.
And what is wrong with adding another lay member? I mean, proponents of this change would say it would be 4 lawyers if you include the Supreme Court justice, and then 4 lay members. So it wouldn't necessarily swing it away from attorneys. It would basically be a split. Why exactly would that be bad toward the process of selecting judges? Wouldn't that provide hypothetically more consensus as opposed to swaying it on one side or the other?
From a policy standpoint, that's probably one of the if you use a continuum of the objections, that's probably one of the provisions that we have the least objection to. I would say, however, that while it sounds like a good idea to increase input, what it does is it gives the governor the ability to populate the commissions with people who he wants on the commission. As it stands today, the 30,000 members of the Missouri Bar elect in an open election 3 members to the Appellate Judicial Commission, and then the judge in the Supreme Court, typically the chief judge, rounds out the commission along with the 3 lay people appointed by the governor. By giving the governor another lay person appointment, it simply increases the political power the governor has over this process. And while we have no objection to having public involvement and public input into judicial selection, what we object to is the politicization of this process. And it seems that that's exactly what the purpose of this proposal is to inject politics. And so that's...
Well, not only that, Jason, but it gives the governor more power by giving him control over the additional commissioner. But the proposal also calls for the consent of the Senate on these lay commissioners. So that injects politics directly into the lay part of the plan and makes the lay commissioners subject to political influence of all types and makes them a political football, if you will. So that's the danger, in addition to tipping the very careful balance that exists now in favor of the governor.
And what would you find the most objectionable on this aforementioned continuum in this plan? You mentioned that this falls sort of on the least end of it. Is there a certain thing about HJR10 that you think is most objectionable, in your opinion?
I think HJR10 in toto is a mistake. It's a group of bad ideas, in my opinion. There's nothing about it that I can endorse or say is somewhat better or worse than another. It's all bad. It all involves increased political influence in the plan. It all increases the likelihood of special interest group weighing in, special interest groups and special interest group money weighing in on the plan. So I can't endorse any part of it.